right one goes, right? Did you guys know that there is a McDonald's museum that's actually the first recreation of the first McDonald's in Des Plaines, Illinois? Commercial ads have been airing recently of what is actually inside of the McDonald's food that we consume. As members of the fast food community, we should be aware of what is served to us and the health risks that come to us with consumption of the McDonald's food. As a member of the fast food community, I put the time and effort to do research on the health risks that come with consuming McDonald's food, and what the harm that it does to the body. With learning about what's inside the McDonald's food, we will get a better understanding on the health risks that come with it. First, I'm going to talk about the type of food that is actually on the menu of McDonald's. Second, I'm going to talk about the health risks that come with consuming that food. And lastly, I'm going to talk about the long-term risks that come with the consumption of McDonald's food. So, what is served at McDonald's? One of the main, items that are served at McDonald's is obviously the Big Mac. Stated by the McDonald's website, published in 2010, unfortunately with no author. The Big Mac is a double-layered hamburger that has American cheese, pickles, onions, and lettuce, and it actually has 530 calories with 27 grams of fat. Another item that is actually served at McDonald's is what we all probably know, the Chicken McNuggets. They come like in 10-piece, 20-piece, depends. It's also stated by the McDonald's website, published in 2010, no author, that the 10-piece Chicken McNuggets have 470 calories and 30 grams of fat. Now that we discussed what's on the menu at McDonald's, I'm going to move on to some of the health risks. In order to understand why a person can get sick with the consumption of the McDonald's food, in order to understand why, we're going to go into a guy named Morgan Spurlock. He is credible to talk about the health risks only because he was the one that came out in the movie that I don't know if you guys know, Super Size Me. That movie came out in 2004. He actually consumed McDonald's daily for 30 days and actually gained 25 pounds at the end of the month. Some of the health risks that he actually got was high cholesterol, mood swings, depression, heart palpitations, and actually sexual dysfunction. So this is Morgan Spurlock. He's the one that consumed McDonald's for literally a month. And now that we have a better understanding of some of the health risks, we can go into another common health risk that comes with the consumption, which is diabetes. McDonald's actually aims towards children, normally with like the Happy Meals, toys and stuff. 9 out of 10 Americans of children actually have diabetes, and 1 in 3 children born every year actually gets diagnosed with diabetes. That is said in the Palo Alto Medical Foundation with an unknown author, published in 2015. So now that I talked about some of the health risks, I'm going to go into some of the long-term health risks. It's hard to believe that a simple hamburger or simple Chicken McNugget or French fries can do such harm to the body. Diabetes at young ages is usually considered to be type 1 diabetes. Type 1 diabetes usually is gotten by a child or young adults. Diabetes actually causes glucose levels to rise high in the body. that is also read in the Palo Alto Medical Foundation with an unknown author in 2015. Another long-term health risk that is caused by the consumption of McDonald's is actually cholesterol. Cholesterol is caused by trans fat in processed foods processed food is actually served at McDonald's. That is stated by Mark McGill, author of an article published in the Medical News Today in 2004. So now that we have a better understanding, let's go ahead and wrap things up. It is important to know the health risks by consuming the McDonald's food and the health risks that can be actually long-term. So first I talked about what's on the menu with the chicken McNuggets and the Big Mac. And then I went into some of the health risks that you can get with consuming that food and some of the long-term health risks that you can get still by consuming the food. So in conclusion, at the end of the day, people won't have you saying, I'm loving it, once you get diagnosed with a long-term disease.